Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, hi, my name is Alyssa, and for today's video, we are officially kicking off spooky season with this glam devil makeup look. I am so excited to be bringing you guys some fun Halloween content after taking last year off. So I really hope that you guys are pumped for everything that I have up my sleeve for you guys this year. I don't want to ramble on too long, so of course, I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you do, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. That way you don't miss any of the Halloween fun. And without further ado, if you would like to know how to achieve this look for yourself, then let's just go ahead and get started. Alright, starting off with the Jeffree Star Jawbreaker palette and using the shade Licorice, I am taking an angled liner brush and I am just going to map out the shape that I want for my cut crease. Now, if I'm keeping it 100% real with you guys, which I always do, I am not the best at cut creases, you guys. I don't know why I keep attempting them. I think it's just so I can attempt to kind of hone and refine my skills, so don't take my word for this. This just works for me. As you can see here, I'm like winging it, but I just take that, outline my shape, and then I start blending with the same shade on a small fluffy brush and just kind of blending that upwards to my brow. If you guys have any tips or tricks on how to do a good cut crease, let your girl know. I'm down to learn, but essentially I'm just going to keep blending until I'm satisfied. And then I'm now going to dip into the shade Raspberry in the same palette, and I'm just going to start deepening this up. So I'm pretty much going to do the same thing, just kind of create the shape with that darker shade and then start blending that upwards to my brow again, just to really create some dimension in this look. Since it's got such little eyeshadow involved in it, I don't use many colors. And then of course, keep on blending. It's one of these looks where like I feel like you should just blend more than you think you should, and that's when you know you're good. Jump into the face, I am going to use my CoverFx blurring primer. I am going to place this in my T-zone, and I really focus on pushing this primer into my skin. I love this primer. It works wonders for me. I've had it far too long, so highly recommend. For foundation, I am going to be using my Anastasia Beverly Hills Luminous Foundation today. I am in the shade 305N, and I'm just going to put that all over my face with a beauty blender. Again, making sure to really press this into the skin for a stunning glowy finish. And then for my concealer, I'm using the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer, one of my favorites. I'm just going to conceal in the places in which I like to, so you do this to your discretion. And because I'm an oily girl, I'm going to go ahead and powder all the spots I put concealer in with a translucent setting powder. I'm not really baking, but I am pressing this into my skin. And here comes the fun yet very scary part. So I'm still using the Licorice shade from the Jeffree Star Jawbreaker palette, and I'm going to start placing this in all the areas where I would naturally kind of bronze / contour. I'm going in with a very small amount and just building this up. I'm embarrassed to tell you how long I sat here and did this, you guys, because I didn't want to have to take it off and start over. So you do with what you're comfortable, but now I decided to take this shade Raspberry, the slightly darker red from the Jeffree Star palette, and start using this as a true contour. I did begin to pull my contour down pretty close to my mouth, as you guys can see here, and I won't lie, this is when I wasn't sure if I started making a mistake, so I just kept going with it, taking that same raspberry shade and pushing that further into my hairline to create some dimension on the face. And because I was starting to freak myself out with all the red on my face kind of looking all over the place, I decided to go ahead and throw on my nose contour because I did want to bring some shade to the center of my face. I think it looks more cohesive and purposeful, and so I'm just literally taking that same Licorice shade and I'm dragging that down, connecting it to that eye work, and I'm going to bring it down onto my nose, really focusing on blending that out. I'm laughing at myself because I'm like, girl, you look ridiculous. Like, what are you doing right now? So I'm making sure to really blend it at the top where they connect, so that way there's no harsh lines. And then I do create a little swoop right here on the tip of my nose. Of course, you contour your nose how you like. I'm going back to the face because something's got to be done. I started pulling it closer underneath my eyes and like a blush, and it's right here where I'm like, did I just absolutely ruin this? Like, what am I doing with my life? Look at me. I'm in the trenches, I won't lie, but we're going to keep persevering. And so I am now dipping into the GlamLite Cake palette, and I'm using the shade Red Velvet because I was starting to feel like the cheeks were really one-dimensional. Like you couldn't really tell that there were different colors going on. It just felt kind of blah. So I'm using this shade to really deepen it up. It's pretty much, again, like a contour, but I felt like this shade looked a lot different than the other two. And it was kind of pulling some pink into the look, which this was supposed to be primarily red, but that is not how it worked out for me, y'all. So we're just winging it. So I'm just going to kind of keep playing with it, adding it up. Again, you do this to your comfort level, whatever colors you want to do, however much you want to put on. But I just wasn't sure where I was going with it. So I'm truly winging it at this point, just hoping for the best. All right, without adding any additional product to that brush, I am just going to do a light jaw contour, again, just to keep that reddish pink shade looking really cohesive and like it's intentional on each part of my face. At this point, I went ahead and popped on my lashes and put in my contacts. I also cut the crease with some concealer. So at this point, I'm like, okay, girl, I'm seeing the vision. We're starting to look a little bit better, so we're going to keep it rolling. For my under eyes, it's super simple. I took a black eyeshadow. This one just happens to be from the Jaclyn Hill and Morphe palette, and I just lightly blended that out with this little fluffy brush. And then I go in with a mixture of the Licorice and Raspberry shades from the Jawbreaker palette, and then just lightly blend that out. I didn't make mine too smoky. You do it however you want to. I am going to pop back up to that cut crease for just a minute and really focusing on kind of sharpening that and pulling it out towards my temples. It was always my intention to have it brought out pretty dramatic to the side like that. I just wanted to wait until I was done adding the color on my face and my temples because I didn't want it to get muddy. I want it to stay nice and sharp. And so now I'm just taking a stippling brush and just really kind of buffing out that inner portion on my cheeks so I look a little less crazy. Everything looks a little bit more blended. And then of course, to cut that contour, I am just using a little bit of translucent powder. I do think this helps me in the very end. For highlighter, because of course we have got to beam ourselves up to the gods, I am using the Gourmande Girls Bold and Brilliant highlighting palette. I'm using the shade Moonstone, and it is beautiful. Like, look at that, you guys. On my inner corner, it's stunning. I pull it a little bit up onto the lid, and then I put it on my nose as well. And I am going to link Christina's website down below. She is a fellow YouTuber, and her products are awesome, so I highly recommend you go check those out. Now it is time to add the gemstones, and I am just going to dot some eyelash glue in random spots around my temple and above the cut crease on my eye. And then I decided to use a mixture of red, black, and iridescent stones for this particular look. Of course, you do this however you want to, but I just kind of did this right here. And then of course, we're just pretty much going to copy that onto my other eye. And then last but not least, for lips, I'm taking the shade Weirdo from Jeffree Star Cosmetics, and I'm just going to kind of use this as my lip liner. His liquid lipsticks are some of the best in the game, so they're perfect for doing this. And then for that ombre effect, I'm using the shade Forbidden Fruit and just kind of patting that out with a little lip brush or like a flat concealer brush, whatever you have. I do pop on some clear gloss, and then there you have it, you guys. This is our Glam Devil. She is stunning. She is the Halloween moment, and even though it was a road to get here, we got here, and that's all that matters. So I really hope that you guys liked it. Give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in my next one.